Adversity? Bring it. The struggle? We welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. We are Dave Regina and Mike Pirelli, and this is the No Snooze Podcast. Come on. Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast, episode 114. I'm in the booth with my brothers, Michael, the show, Pirelli, Claudio, the voice, Valenzuela, and I am Dave, the body, lots of hand motions, Regina. Michael, how the hell are you, my brother?
Trying to get more caffeinated. I'm very tired.
Yes.
2 is no joke. Got a little cocky early on. I thought we had a system down and literally flipped everything.
Okay. All right. I can see that.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference, would you say? I guess even in your lifestyle, right? In your day-to-day lifestyle, what would be the biggest difference going from one child to 2?
So we had a couple big changes as far as like I work from home now.
Okay.
So me and Dana obviously are double teaming and like, you know, who's ever more difficult. So like sometimes Livy gets more difficult. We'll both be down and we'll just put the baby on the side. But the difference is even if one goes down easy and then the other's up, you're still up.
Your odds are not against you
exactly.
anymore. Right?
Your odds are against you.
Yes.
Like the house.
I'm sorry. Your odds are against you. Yes.
Yeah. The odds are against you. So like last night I went in with Livy. So we've been basically trying to figure out the system for Livy. It's been taking an hour and a half to put her down every night.
Yeah.
And the hard part is we're so exhausted.
Later though, right?
Oh yeah.
I've noticed that with Callie for us. Like it used to be 7:30, 8 o'clock, go nice and easy. Now it's like 9, 9:30.
Yeah.
And it's a whole
and they don't want to go to sleep because now they understand when you go to sleep you don't have to play anymore. So it's been a mess. I'm trying to involve Blippy. Blippy's been phenomenal.
Blippy's a weirdo.
I've been hesitant.
I'm not gonna lie. You know Blippy, CB?
So
Blippy? What? Blippy?
No.
No, it's a character.
Oh, it's not the little blanket that you rub on your nose?
No. He's a weirdo.
So Diane and Roma is another show, but that it's trash. They don't teach you anything. Blippy, at least he'll be like, this is the color blue.
Yeah.
Whatever. So he makes a fortune.
I was just gonna say, okay, so for all the parents out there, right? If you're not a parent, I guess Blippy is this character that's a grown man that has to dress up in like, a funny hat, flips his hat. And
doesn't have to. He gets paid a fortune.
That's true. And he's just, he just is so exaggerated for the kids. But like sometimes I sit there as an adult, I'm like, this guy's a fool. But really, we're the fools.
We're the fools. Yeah.
because he's absolutely killing it. How much do you think he makes?
I looked it up. I want to say he's worth $75 million.
So this is like a modern day Mr. Rogers.
But he's smart.
No,
yes, similar.
Mr. Rogers was always an old guy.
Mr. Rogers was polished.
Well, different times, now they got to be hip.
Hey, Mr. Rogers used to wear that shirt that Michael has on.
So Blippy is genius, right?
Yeah,
so in my head, I'm like, all right, well, we're trying to put her to sleep. I need to try to figure out something that Blippy does to put her to sleep that we can watch every night.
Don't tell me to do this.
We did Blippy bedtime story. So I'm like, all right, it's an actual book.
Gotcha.
So he says at the end of it, if you like the story, read along with me next time, buy the book. So I'm like, 100%. Because when you don't sleep, you're like, I will do anything for this kid to go to sleep. So I bought the book immediately. It's coming Thursday. So I've been trying to do that. But it's genius because you rewatch it.
Yeah.
And every time you rewatch, he gets paid.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, he makes 75. This other couple, which we didn't even realize didn't speak English. These young kids, Diane and Roma, little kids. They must be like 5. And their parents, Ukrainian family, they dub over it, didn't realize it.
Oh my God.
And they're speaking in English, and it's just quick, fast pace with like little animated, like,
the sounds. The sound, no, but it's the sounds, I think, that
bright
get the kids.
stuff, and it's like very animated.
Gotcha.
They make $45 million a year.
Oh.
A year.
Yeah, this is disgusting.
And they're like 5. So part of watching
maybe we're in the wrong industry, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we're gonna switch into a family friendly.
right.
Blippy and friends
dress up as clowns.
No Snooze kids.
That's awesome.
But anyway, so yeah, it's an adjustment. I was very nervous going into the second, and rightfully so. The positive is we've been a lot more relaxed with the baby because we kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
With Livy though, it's all new frontiers. She's tough. It's been tough.
Gotcha.
Dana's been taking a big brunt of it also because like every time now that I have to go out, I'm leaving her with 2 if Livy's home.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get Livy into daycare, but every time she gets a fever, we have to keep her the rest of the week. So that's a nightmare.
That's horrible. So I'm not going to lie. I think it's a little odd of you daycares out there that my kid can come in and hack away and be coughing. You don't send her away, but if she comes in with a little bit of a fever, she got to skedaddle.
Yeah.
It's a little odd, right?
And the conversation happens where it's like, all right, she's 100 point whatever. It's technically not a fever. Do you still send her? You know?
Does let me ask you,
every family's doing that.
Oh, 100%. Let me ask you this though: does Livy cry every time you drop her off at daycare?
No. So she had a week where she was rough after vacation.
Yeah.
But typically she's excited.
Oh God,
Does Callie
yo,
cry?
dude. First of all, Callie wakes up and she's like, "Dally." She's called me Dally. Dally, where are we going?
Dally?
Dally. And I think because her name is Callie, she calls me Dally.
It's awesome.
But she's like, Dally, where are we going? I don't want to go to school. And then it's just anxiety all morning. And I have her in the car. And literally she'll just cry. And then I have to. I was reading about this, right? But like I do like a little routine. I give her like 3 or 4 forehead kisses and I say goodbye one time. And then you got to get out of there. Because at first you're like, goodbye, but then you feel bad, so you kind of stick around. You don't want to see your kid cry, but apparently it just makes it worse. But the knot that I feel, it's horrible.
That's probably if I had to choose, that is the easiest because I'm like, she's in good hands.
Right, yeah,
she'll
she's safe.
figure it out.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Did you see the video, by the way? I don't know if you saw the CV. We might have to plug it in. So I've been doing like nightly prayers with Callie.
I did see that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and it's very base level. Like I never did this as a kid, but like because I'm so, into the gratitude piece now, I figure like let me try to implement this habit and create a culture for my family dynamic from an early age, right? So it's basically like, just thank you for my family and friends. Thank you for keeping me healthy. Thank you for keeping me safe. And then she goes and sleeps with the angels is what we call it, right? So she prays to the angels.
Got it.
Because she saw something with angels and she was like, angels, heaven, So instead of God, she just says angels, whatever. But so we're repeating it and something tells me to take my phone out. And I literally, I say it, then she says it. So I say, thank you for my family. She says, thank you for my family. I'm like, thank you for my friends. She's like, thank you for my... I farted, but it's on video. So we should plug this in. That video did more than any video I've ever posted, besides the one with the egg.
Yeah.
But like the reactions to that
So
video, oh my God, it was hilarious.
So I have a love-hate with the camera because you want to live in the moment, but it seems like they play up to the camera.
Yes.
I don't know if you realize.
Yes.
Like when I pull the camera out, Livy always does something funny.
Yes.
So I've been trying to do it less, but
Right.
also enough where it's like that's hilarious.
Yep.
It's on camera.
So yeah, I struggle with that too because I know a lot of people say, the camera takes away from the moment sometimes, but maybe for us, I guess because we're so used to the camera. You put a camera there, I'm still acting the same exact way, right?
That's true.
But
because we're
but
acclimated.
but it's also nice now to be able to look back from 2 years ago when they were like this big.
Yeah.
But at least you have the moments, So
Yeah.
I don't know. I struggle with it.
Well, I tell Dana all the time, I'm like, I'm whoring out this family for some income. Because kids are not cheap, and we got double daycare coming up.
Double daycare.
As long as it's out in the open, Dana's like, absolutely. So we're going to Threads and Treads hopefully this afternoon. I'm like,
Nice.
Dane, you're on camera.
That's awesome. So today's episode, basically, we're gonna drop 3 questions that were asked via the DM. I just had a blank.
message,
I was just gonna say what
They
does
slid
DM
into your
stand for?
DMs.
The direct message. So these were 3 great questions, but in terms of, I guess before we hit these questions, in terms of the body,
Yeah.
how you feeling? What's going on?
I am at a point where I'm trying to maintain or limit damage and being realistic as far as like the time I have to what?
Camera angle. My bad.
Oh, that's right. People know what I look like. No, right now it's the reality is I know it's going to be difficult in the beginning. Like yesterday, I was able to sneak in some weights. So I did the most compound lifts like the beginning of the workout.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm prioritizing my 20-minute run because I'm really enjoying that and building that. So like the smaller, what's that called? The isolation stuff. I haven't been doing as much. And my thought is I have weights in my home office, the 15 pounds, where I can hit some just to at least like maintain.
Yep.
And then diet wise, I've been a little more lax, but perfect during, for example, like our shoot. I'm not restricted at as much anymore, but elsewhere I'm actually dialing it up and making overnight oats, egg white bites, trying to limit the amount I cook.
Gotcha.
So a big adjustment was doing ground turkey, rice, and cabbage, and literally just mixing it up so that I can just heat it in the microwave and I don't have to cook anything during the day. So I'm trying to do it another level.
Sorry. I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you stop lifting?
No, I'm
when
still
you were,
lifting weights.
No, not now. Before, when you were trying to make make weight?
So that was the most I recorded me walking a lot because when I was lifting, I was so exhausted that it was such a grind to just lift.
Right.
So then when I got in the treadmill, I'm like, all right, let me record and time-wise, I had so much less time. So I was just trying to get everything. So no, I lifted a lot actually during that last phase. It was just lighter weight because I was so weak. Like
Gotcha.
I was so gassed. Now that I'm eating, 2,500 calories or whatever it is, 200 grams of protein, the gym workouts, when I have a little bit of sleep, I've been so much stronger. It's like not even close, which I think makes it easier to maintain the muscle because you're lifting heavier weights, right?
Yep.
But I've been loving the gym. I mean, the biggest thing that I want to add is running shoes is like my big thing because my calves are killing me. So I'm trying to run on my toes.
Well, you're supposed to run on the balls of your feet.
Yeah, the balls, toes, whatever, balls,
toes, balls.
Do you know what I mean? Like
ball toes,
the pads.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
So
I used
my
to work
calves
at
are
Nike
killing.
running, so
I've been diving into all the run stuff with people run marathons. I got to follow more KPI training, my guy. So I've enjoyed being terrible at something again and trying to build up while also having the weights to complement. So like when I lift weights, I feel pretty good. And I feel like pretty adamant.
Yeah.
And then when I get on the treadmill, I feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
So it's been a nice compliment. And I'm excited because I talked to my guy, Coach T, about running like in the fall. He's like, this is the perfect time to start running.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't been outside of the house yet, but eventually.
Oh, man, that's awesome. No, you look good still.
Thank you.
I just handed over Mike his remaining balance from that bet. So he's paid today. Did you spend it already? So, yeah, CV, I mean, without further ado, I guess we'll jump right into these questies.
You look great. Whatever you say from now on, I believe it.
Thank you.
I'm muted. Okay. All right. So, question. You guys always talk about mantras and quotes. Is there one specific quote you tell yourself over and over, and do you think that has actually helped your approach and thinking? I just landed my first high school coaching job, and I'm looking for a season motto.
Coaching job. So, simple scales, fancy fails has been a big one lately.
That's a motto for the athletes?
Simple scales, fancy fails. Yeah, that is true because that's more like a fundamental thing.
Everything. Like if you're going to do a workout, it's like, oh, I can overthink it. What's the time? Just work out.
Right.
Like, stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess. And one thing I would change about the verbiage of your thought process is like, this shouldn't be what?
I have another good one. Sorry.
No, this shouldn't be like a season motto, right? Like you're trying to create like a culture. And I think like culture is different than like just a motto because
for a coach.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like a culture is something that you really want to set. For business, I get very nervous when I public speak, right? So the quote that I always think about is be yourself because everybody else is already taken.
Okay.
And for me that it's a reminder of like you don't have to be like anybody
you're a one
else,
of one
right?
for sure. You're one of
right,
one.
but like if I try to play myself into somebody else, now I'm no longer one of one, right? So that's a reminder I do in business. But the best quote for me always, and it's very simple, get comfortable being uncomfortable, especially for athletes, right? Because if you can adopt that mindset, and that was kind of our quote back in college with Scanman. And at first we didn't really understand it, but if you have the ability as a team, right, and you're creating a culture that's built off an environment of putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation and then thriving when it's uncomfortable, you're going to have a winning model, right?
Yeah, well said.
And if I'm thinking about it, like if you have that on a t-shirt or something like that, that's a good one.
So I have different ones for different situations. So what's the first one? I said keep it simple scales, fancy fails. There's another one.
Eat pizza.
I'm not getting any younger has been something I've been saying to myself just because I think we have a false sense of time where we're like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it next year. We'll do this next year. And then in my head, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have, it's going to get harder next year.
Yep.
So do it now.
Right.
So that's one, the good DeJocko thing where when stuff goes sideways, now in my head I just say good.
Yep.
Because and obviously I'm like shit, and then I say good.
Mm-hmm.
But his whole thing is like, and something I listen to is, if something goes south, the reaction's good because you have the opportunity to get better at addressing issues, and it's not the end of it's an opportunity to overcome another obstacle.
Right.
It's a way to look at it.
Right.
So good's one.
I think it's important too for a team culture, and this is just speaking from experience. Once you I guess find one, like stick with that, and then try to drill it every single day. Because to your question of like, does it really change the mindset? I think it does.
Keep it simple.
Like, would you agree with that? Do you think it really does change the mindset when you can, I guess, attach it to something more than just words, and you could really live by that quote? That's, I think, where the change really happens, So
with the food show and the real estate stuff, my core 3 that I have right now, or 2, whatever you want to call it, I constantly say, be great, because she, Ashley gets the brunt of a lot of it because I talk to her more. She sends me some stuff, and then I just write like, good, how you were telling me I'm mediocre? Similar. Where I'll say like, would you post that? Like, is this good? And she's like, yeah, it's good. I'm like, but is it great? She's like, no. And I'm like, what are we doing? Are we just going to be average or be number 1? So that's been the kind of thing I've been reiterating with them.
That's a good one.
And the reality is now there's a lot of people that are on our heels and doing the same thing in a very, there is an abundance mindset in general, but in a very finite market and with a team that's in a league, someone's always trying to take your spot.
Right.
So if you're not going to be great, you're just going to be second, third, whatever it is, and no one cares about that. People like people who are great or number 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Mediocre is not remarkable. People don't talk about mediocre or second place.
Be remarkable.
Who was the runner-up for Super Bowl, etc.? You don't know because no one cares.
Absolutely not. No, good question. CV, you have any from back in your day?
I'm gonna refer them to go watch Remember the Titans or Coach Carter.
Oh, Coach Carter.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
I wasn't a big fan of Coach Carter.
Really?
I don't know why. Yeah.
Locked on Jim Dore.
What was Cruz's first name? The shooter, right?
Yeah.
There was a meme that I just saw, and it said before Steph Curry, Tyo Cruz. Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Tyo Cruz was pulling up from half court with no F's given. So that was pretty funny. What's the next one?
All right, next one. I'm assuming. Well, I don't know. What is in the protein oats you posted, and how can I make it? I'm assuming that question is Mike Pirelli.
That's for me,
right?
Yeah. I mean, we both do the oats.
I think it's for me though.
Yeah, absolutely. That was
pretty.
Well, yours looked great.
Wasn't it pretty?
The DMs were blowing.
Were they?
Yeah.
I want to do more of that. That's something I talked about. Chef with No Snooze.
Yeah. No, that would speak on that one, and then I'll share my very basic one that I've done.
Yeah, it's actually very straightforward. I've tried overnight yesterday, and I ate them today, and it just, for whatever reason, they don't soak them up like they should.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe I use water though. Am I supposed to use milk?
Yeah, milk is.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's
like I use like almond milk or like coconut milk or protein with it.
Okay, so the ones that I've been doing is I do 60 grams. This is shout out Ambrosio AC for the limitations that he gave me.
Right.
But,
yeah.
No, but he posts protes, I guess is the term.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing about it. It's 60 grams of old-fashioned oats. I microwave those with water, basically water encompassing all of it because you want a little extra water for the protein for a minute, and then 30 seconds, just so it doesn't overflow. So 230 total. Then I add the protein powder while it's nice and warm, and I mix it in, get that nice and consistent. Scoop and a half because I'm on 48 grams of protein in the morning. Then 100 grams of strawberries, which then I'll lay on top. I take 32 grams of all natural peanut butter, toss it in the center while it's warm again, try to mix it in a little bit. I like a little chunky.
Yep.
And then I've been using a lot of Walden Farms. I could do it with it or without it. It makes it look a little better. They have sugar-free chocolate and sugar-free caramel. If I had to choose between one of them, the caramel is a nice pop, and it's different than the chocolate.
Gotcha.
But if you add both, it kind of tastes like a dessert. So that with a nice coffee in the morning, black, whatever, incredible. And the nice thing is you just adjust the protein that goes in, and it takes on a whole new, like, I like to use generic stuff like chocolate or vanilla because you can add things and change it versus you get like a very specific one.
Right.
And you're just eating that. But if you get a bunch of different types, it could be real nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple.
It is super simple. I think not protein. Oatmeal is like, if you're looking to lose weight, oatmeal's great, and if you're looking to gain like good weight, oatmeal's great. You just have to, I know it sounds funny, but you really got to figure out, I guess, the amount that works, because oatmeal is something that is a little heavier as a meal, but the digestion in it, even for me with, my GI issues, it's phenomenal. Mine is extremely basic though.
Is it the same?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same, but mine is a little bit more flavorful because I don't do the water. So I take almond milk and my protein. I shake that up, put it over my oats.
Oh wow, you do the mix.
Right. Well, just so I don't have to. It's already now mixed, right?
Smart.
So it's already mixed.
Pretty good.
Throw it into the oatmeal, and then I love blueberries, strawberries, and either almond butter or peanut butter. And just rock out.
Amazing. The biggest thing, like I said before, is now I'm trying to make it so simple, where that's why I'm toying with the overnight, because if I don't even have to microwave it anymore, I know it's like insignificant, but it all adds up.
Told you so.
What? The overnight?
Told you so.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I was doing 4 eggs and toast, but I have to cook the eggs. I have to cook the toast.
I just do 4 eggs in a bag, bro. You can't get any more simple than that.
You're doing it. Then I did the egg cups.
Yeah.
But then I'm doing the egg cups. And
right.
then
That's a lot, bro. That's what I'm saying. So
I'm like, just overnight oats is cheap.
Well, you know how the simple stuff really started for me, especially with the eggs, right? When I was trying to get strong, was when I was a caddy. So I'm like, what can I put in my pocket that's protein? So I literally had a bag of eggs, and literally on the golf course would pop my eggs open.
Can you give them your hard boiled recipe?
But it became like a talk of the caddy yard.
Oh,
like, yo, dude, Dave must have opened
his.
Yeah, Dave must have opened his eggs today. But that's how it started. So now I remember where I came from. So nobody can tell me that I switched up. And I don't put them in my pocket, but I put them in my lunchbox. All right, and I keep it in a Ziploc bag. God damn it.
I think 90% of dieting is just having the food ready.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I did find these great meals at ShopRite. Did you see that?
I did.
Dude, incredible. Between $6.99 and $8.50. They're these prepackaged meals, but they're fresh, made fresh. Again, though.
What are the ratios, though?
There was the two salmon fillets. It was like 7 ounces of salmon when I put it on the scale. Right.
Cooked?
Which was it was cooked. They had vegetables as well. There was like a broccoli rabe in that one. They had a shrimp one, grilled chicken with vegetables. And then obviously if you want to even like add a little rice to it or something like that, you could do that. The problem though that I have, man, is with these even though it's fresh to go, they still must put something in it because it doesn't make my stomach feel that great.
How's the seasoning?
It's delicious. It's great. The salt
heavily
content,
seasoned, though?
It's a little bit higher than I would use for sure, but it's much healthier. Like to Mike's point,
than what you would.
Yeah, like at least I have something, and I was out of town, so like I was like, let me check this out. Great alternative versus going to, because even if I go into Chipotle and I really try to make it good, I'm like, slap some sour cream on it. You know what I mean? Like it gets hard.
Yeah, when you're tempted, it's like you might as well not.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
It's true though. The eating poorly, even a little bit, has rocked my stomach because like I'm not used to it anymore.
Right.
Because I went so far one way, and with real foods, and even incorporating protein again in this stuff is hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like I might have to switch up proteins. But overall, if you go on TikTok or Instagram and you look up protein recipes, there's an infinite amount of variations. They have a cheesecake one,
and they do it in mason jars, so it looks all pretty. With the layers. Right?
So I think that might be my new obsession in the dieting world, because that's something that's not expensive.
Yep.
That I can play around with, and then it starts the day with a little ooh, I'm gonna hit a little. And Livy had it with me this morning because she's like, I want, and she didn't spit it out. And I'm like, you're getting a little protein.
Callie likes to make it. She doesn't really like to eat it with me.
Really?
Yeah. She just takes the whole thing of peanut butter though, and just to the face. So
just real quick while we're on the topic, protein oats is breakfast. I'm gonna combine my 2 snacks, which is Greek yogurt. So I just do 2 Greek yogurts. I'm supposed to have 100 grams of strawberries with each of those.
Mm-hmm. So break down what 100 grams of strawberries is.
It's like 6 strawberries if you cut them up.
Like if you
but I cut them up so it lasts.
And so but if you were to take like just probably a cup of strawberries, that's probably
not
close
much.
But
it's
the
delicious.
way he keeps talking in grams, and it's because he's used to it now, but just put it on a scale, and instead of hitting the ounce button, right, you can go through it and grams will actually come up.
Yeah, I'm not leaning away, but I don't need the scale as much because I can eye it now because I've done it so many times.
This isn't your regular body weight scale, by the way. We're talking about the food scale.
Yeah,
right?
you don't stand on there and keep on anything. So dialed in. You got protein oats for breakfast, Greek yogurt for snack, which depending on how crazy the day is, you could do it in the afternoon, evening, whatever. Just have it ready. Two things. Lunch is basically a deconstructed egg roll. So it's sugar-free teriyaki on turkey meat, cabbage that's microwaved and cooked, mixed in, and then rice. And it's all just mixed in and just microwave it, hit it quick.
How do you cook the cabbage?
The cabbage is in the microwave. They have like a pre-package, and I've just split it up between, and it's like the filling of an egg roll.
Oh, got you.
You know?
Okay.
I go very Asian when I diet. I don't know why. Right? And then teriyaki chicken thighs is dinner because I love mustard. Mustard's like up there. And there's an Asian spicy brown mustard, 0 calories, but it's got something.
Have you had pub style horseradish?
Oh, it's similar to that.
Oh,
amazing.
That's a home run.
And it's got a little kick. It's
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So that is just every day. And I'm like, I can eat this every day. And then when I have to go out or we go celebrate, then it's like, then I really enjoy because I eat the same thing every day and it's not expensive.
Correct.
I'm eating all chicken, ground turkey, and then rice. I forgot about rice. Rice cooker.
Yeah.
White rice, amazing.
You will go through a phase though. So again, like I've eaten the exact same things for literally over a decade now.
Yeah.
Right? Like over
You look like you've eaten the exact same thing.
but literally over a decade, right?
Like that dude doesn't no variation.
There is times where I'm like, oh man, this week I can't do chicken. Like I just have to go extra on the beef or extra on the sounds a little funky. Extra on the turkey, tuna. You know what I mean? Like there are good ways to switch it up.
Oh yeah, I just don't have the bandwidth, especially.
But you're
now.
good right now. You're still you accomplished your goal, but you're still like in the game, right? You're not going to get sick of things right away. Like it takes.
If I get a meal prep service, Hinton AC, hook it up, or a chef at any point in my life,
his food.
Then the variations could come because I don't care.
Right.
If I don't think about it, I don't care.
Yep.
If I have to think about it, then it's going to be very limited.
Gotcha.
Does this make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Make it make sense. All right, that's that question.
You're getting me hungry.
I know, right?
I didn't get my lunch yesterday because I had to go right to the shoot, and I had 20 slices. I might have had 7 or 8 slices of different styles of pizza.
You see, we should have had them weigh in. We should have made it September.
Yeah, there would have been no shot. I really lucked out.
Right, I know, you did. It's
or
all right.
Didn't luck out.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Thank you, Dana. The 400's coming back to you, honey. I gave her the first 4, and now this is the second 4.
There you go.
Man of my word.
CV, talk to us.
All right. Third question. I've never responded well to adversity, and recently I was told by my supervisor that I would most likely not be brought back next year due to a workforce reduction. Any advice? Wow.
Maybe that profession's not right for you.
Punch the supervisor in the face.
So there's that. We love quotes. You can't judge a fish by how it climbs a tree. Maybe it wasn't the right environment. You've never heard that saying?
He brought that up.
Yeah, I said it before and I butchered it. That's actually correct, I think.
You can't judge a fish by the way it climbs a tree. Yeah, so
get in the water, cuz.
You know what's weird about this? And I say punch in the face.
Get in the water.
I say punch in the face because basically adversity is like, answer me this, right? And I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah.
If somebody comes up to you and punches you in the face, your initial reaction after you get over the, oh my God, I just got punched in the face, is to what?
I've never been punched in the face, so I can't tell you.
But think about it. What would be your, if somebody comes up to you and hits you or pushes you, what's the initial reaction?
You'd want to punch back, right?
Correct, right?
Michael's going to go climb a tree.
So,
climb a tree, yeah.
So 100%. So in life, right, this is a version of getting punched in the face. So you have to find a way to hit back. But I don't know why.
You get punched in the face, right? Like if you got punched in the face for no reason, then maybe I don't want to fight back. But if there's a reason that I believe in, then I'm going to fight back. That's my point.
Correct. Absolutely. But my point in this is, yeah, it sucks, right? You just got punched in the face, but now you have to fight back. You have an option to sit there and I guess sulk, and it's a horrible thing that you're potentially losing your job. There is a benefit though. I mean, you have a couple months, it sounds like, before you're getting terminated, right? Wow. Because it said like next year or something, in 2023. So hopefully you have a couple months. But the reality is like, the first thing I would do in business is I got to go to my network, right? Like I would have to literally dive into every single contact that I have and reach out to people and say, listen, this is what's going on. I'm highly skilled in bang, 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 short, simple, even text messages or emails. And I would literally do probably 10 of those a day. And I would do that for 2 weeks. Your microphone is 7 feet away from you.
I would send people a highlight video of me lifting.
Wait, how many contacts do you have? 10 a day. In one day I'd be done. I have
Really?
10 contacts.
Well,
one here, two.
What?
My
I mean,
mom,
on
3.
LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, between
infinite amount of
Facebook,
people.
Instagram, right? Because
You got to start networking.
yeah, dude. but
kidding,
think
guys.
about it. Between your work connections,
10 pages
right,
a day,
with your
you love the number
coworkers.
10, huh?
Yeah, hey, but honestly, right?
It's a
Think
good
about
number.
that system.
Good number.
Even if you did that for 2 to 3 weeks, say it was 5. Think about the amount of contacts that you have, not to mention all your family members, because you have a choice here, right? You can either be embarrassed about the situation.
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
Sorry.
I want you to be embarrassed. But if you were embarrassed about the situation, now you're not going to say anything to people versus being vulnerable and open with people like, listen, this is the situation I'm in. I don't know if you got a family or something like that, but if you do, that probably makes it even more of a reason to like reach out. But yeah, you got to dive into your networks.
It's that point. I think you got to twist the narrative and say, like, listen, I got canned from this role, which I wasn't passionate about. So the next role I'm going to go after and be able to fight through adversity because even if you're lying to yourself, even if you did like the job, but you just were lazy, the next time the new me is going to fight through it because this is something I'm passionate about. Right. And when you tell yourself that, then that narrative with the family is like, oh, great. He now has the opportunity. Like when coaches say, oh, I'm stepping down.
Yep.
You got fired, right?
Yeah, well, you got threatened.
A lot of times.
Basically.
So instead, they take it in their hands like, I'm stepping down and I'm pivoting.
Right.
So why not do that with work? Like, I say this to Dan all the time. Jobs are great. Companies are great. At the end of the day, they will fire you at a moment's notice because it's a business.
Right.
And my profession, I understand that too. So don't be so attached to the job. Be attached to the mission that the job is, or whatever job you get.
Yeah.
There was another great quote. It said, "Don't depend." It was a philosopher. You love those guys, right? The philosophers. You kind of look like
the
one.
big Phillies.
You kind of look like one.
Call me Big Philly.
The big philosopher. The philosopher.
Sound like a falafel.
Yeah.
Everything is food.
So I'm starving. So it was, don't depend on the branch. Depend on your wings.
So once you fall off. So once you fall off, you fly away.
So the company's the branch.
But you're the bird that fell off the branch. But you got
have wings. So it doesn't matter. Your skill sets and your confidence yourself are your wings.
Yes.
So I could land on your branch, but if you take the branch away, I'll just fly to the next branch.
My man hit you with 2 back-to-back.
Good,
yeah,
right?
hell yeah.
I like the animals.
That is fire. I like the animals. I like the food.
David did say he likes things in abundance. So.
I do. This is abundance. No, but seriously, I mean, this is tangible stuff, right? Like, and I think right away you do need to prepare yourself mentally for some sort of like elevator pitch. Even you have to figure out.
First off, you got to find out what you want to do, right?
Yes, but there might be for a time being that this person just needs a job, right? So like you need to figure out what your main skills are. Like put that in like a short, easy to read or easy to speak type of situation, which is basically an elevator pitch. Prepare that, then start reaching out.
But if you keep a vague elevator pitch and I'm someone, I don't know what you want to do. If you're like, oh, I want to, versus, hey, I want to work in real estate. I want to work here. I want to work there.
Reach out to.
Assuming he doesn't like his job. Maybe he did like his job.
If he likes his job, then find a competitor of the place you just left.
Network.
And say, listen, it didn't work out at this company. I really enjoyed being at the company. I think in this new role at your company, I would do a lot better. And I have all that applicable skill set.
Yes. One thing in the work, I guess the work world as well, you, depending on the reference, right? So like, it might behoove you, which just means it's a smart thing of you to do to go talk to that supervisor, even though he's probably the one that is firing you, and just say, listen, I know it's due to a workforce reduction. However, can I use you as a reference? You don't have to go to somebody and be like, listen, I got fired, right? You can say like I'm leaving my job. But you should put that in the supervisor's ear as well, and hopefully you have a good relationship with them. Because if it is just budgetary, then you know what? It is what it is. Like Mike was saying, it's business at the end of the day. But instead of being sour towards that supervisor, you might want to use that as leverage, because if you can at least use your past experience, I find it very funny at times when I ask people their last job and then they're not on the reference sheet. That's weird to me, right? Like if you just worked there for 7 years, why isn't your supervisor there? Yeah, right. So it's like a little bit of a red flag. So try to make that relationship right with that supervisor first, and then do all the stuff we're talking about. We're giving you some gold.
Let me ask you this, because you're in this position. I'm not really in this position. someone gets fired from a job and they say to you, listen, I was fired in my last job. What's your initial thought? Are you like, why'd you get fired?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So you ask them a question, they're able to explain.
I don't listen. You don't disclose that though, unless you have to.
Oh, you don't want people to say it.
Don't say you got fired. No. Why are you saying you got fired?
I'd be a bad interviewer. I'd be like, dude, I got fired. Listen, I want to work for you though.
Right. Like, I mean, unless there's something that's like crazy. You were like, listen, I was so passionate about this side job that I was doing. So I was taking all my time and I was investing in this, and then I got fired. Like, that's kind of a decent reason. But why are you getting fired from jobs, right? Workforce reduction, budgetary confinement is very normal these days.
See, these terms are very good marketing by companies.
What?
Budgetary confinement.
Well, it is. It's true, right? Like I was in a position that
no, but I'm saying the name, like instead of budget cuts.
Oh,
budgetary confinement.
Right, you're confined between these budget lines.
I listened to my guy Hermosi, and he was saying the simpler you make things, the less people are protected.
I saw that,
which I've been trying to be very dull things down.
Yep.
Because I started to go one way to try to become, but I try to speak very simply as it is.
Yes.
I don't use huge words. And I think I agree.
Yeah. Behoove was too big, huh?
No, it was a good word. But that hit me where I was like, behoove. I don't think I'd ever use that word.
Right. But
unless I was in Whoville.
Is that a movie? Oh, no.
Jesus Christ.
We got CV knocking his head through the wall. So listen, man, is it a male or female? Oh, we don't even know. I just gave you the question, right? Not if it's a male or female.
Either way.
Yeah, listen, you got to keep your head up though, and you have to make a choice. Yes, it's a sucky situation, but you have an opportunity to bounce back. There's plenty of work out there these days. Listen, Mike Pirelli's looking for interns all the time, right? Intern for this guy.
We don't pay well. Yeah. The other trick is to think like, in my future self would talk about this job as just kind of a stepping stone to where I am now, right? Like this is just a small step in what I'm going to do.
Right.
So when you expand the timeline, everything becomes a lot less significant, which then makes you take stuff less hard.
Yes. Very nice. That was 3, right? CV, you got any updates for us?
Yeah, that's what I thought we were getting, and then he started hitting us with questions.
He said,
no updates. You look good though, so there's no retraction, which is positive, right?
I can tell you for the last 5 days or so, I've been extremely focused.
Okay.
And working hard and trying to be very disciplined.
Nice.
Because prior to those 5 days,
it's balanced. I mean,
and he's also going to Spain.
Oh, he's going away again.
Yeah, he's out of here.
Jeez,
he's gonna be doing all the audio visual control from. He's gonna be engineering the No Snooze podcast from España.
It's gonna come dubbed over. No Snooze.
You can foresee a couple of listens from overseas.
I remember. I was gonna say Claudio. He had gone. He went away the first time when we first started the podcast, and he like listened to it over there. And then like I was like, yo, we got to listen in another country. He was like, bro, that was me.
So on that note, have you ever seen like Backstreet Boys or some random, and they're like, we got real big in Pakistan or some spot, and then they go there and it's like chaos. I wondered if there's one remote spot that were popular. Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be
like
amazing.
Some random town
that
doesn't have cable and all they do is watch us.
Honestly, not tooting our horns, but when you do look back at this type of stuff and you're played in over 50 countries, I can't even name 50 countries.
I still don't understand how we get so many views and likes.
That's kind of bizarre.
Who's watching us? That's always my question.
Who's doing this?
And then people make comments and I'm like, you watch, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
You watch, you do
forget.
This. Right.
I forget
it's bugged out.
Because you hit a button, it goes in the atmosphere. And then I mean, I don't re-look at it a lot, and then who knows who saw it?
I know, and it only takes
kind of scary.
It only takes one, right?
Well, it takes a lot if you want a lot of viewers.
Well, but
you know,
to the guy that lost his job, it only takes one.
Oh yeah,
right,
another job. I mean, you might need a couple jobs to make up for the lost income.
Oh man! All right, this will bring us to my favorite section. Dave's Dime of the Week.
I gave him a whole $1 already. I don't even know if you need to give him a dime.
I'm broke because I just gave Mike Pirelli.
You might want to hold on to that dime.
$400. This one did really well on the gram, so I might as well share it.
Is it a philosopher?
With everybody. No. When you start to do well in something, it makes people uncomfortable. That's because people on cruise control hate people in control. Think about that.
Can I say something?
Go ahead. Say something.
It's not going to be good.
Go ahead.
I think the majority of the world is on cruise control.
Absolutely.
So we're getting rid of a lot of fans.
No, listen. If you're tuned in to the No Snooze podcast, besides our glamorous selves on YouTube here, hopefully you're on a mission of progress in something in your life, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, but just know, there are people that when you're doing well in whatever it is that you're doing, they're really not happy to see you doing better than them. And it can get discouraging at times. But the point is, you just have to keep going, right? And you got an option. Are you going to stay in cruise control? What is that, 55 miles an hour? Nothing wrong with that.
Is there a specific miles per hour for cruise control? I didn't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's the speed limit, right?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I mean, you can set your cruise control. But I'm saying if you're on a highway and you cruise control, you're probably going to do like 65.
Clearly we don't use cruise control.
Right, we don't use, I was just going to say. But then you got people like Mike Pirelli, CV, and I, like on your ass. I'm going 87.
Ooh,
so if you're cruising,
I don't tailgate.
Get out of the way. All right?
I drive very slow.
You got to take control of your life. That's what this is all about. Keep making progress. We're a mess today.
Going off the edge.
Yeah, we're just killing it today.
Lack of sleep.
But this is beautiful. Michael Pirelli, you have anything else? Tell them where to get the merch, my brother.
NoSnoozeShop.com. I think it's been fixed, right?
Yeah. Sorry about the link, man.
Speaking of NoSnoozeShop.com, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow. What do you think about the No Snooze Run Club shirts?
You dropped them?
NSRC.
I like it. I didn't see it.
That's on my to-do list. No, I didn't drop it.
Oh, I'm like, wait a minute. I feel dumb. I didn't even see this.
Dude, I'm behind. Your boy's behind.
Yeah, we were still trying to get our thumbnails right on YouTube.
I don't even think I did YouTube this week. I forgot it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Was it 2 weeks?
CV's been engineering.
No, I had one thumbnail. I missed the thumbnail.
Dude,
little. What is it called when the dad takes off?
I don't know. What do you mean when the dad takes off?
What is it called? Maternity leave, paternal leave.
Oh, paternal leave.
I got 2 weeks of paternal leave from No Snooze Podcast.
True. That is true. Guys, hope you enjoy it. If you found entertainment, if you found value, if you just enjoy what we're doing, please share the show. That's how we continue to grow and get these views and listeners that Michael Pirelli is talking about. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. I appreciate you, my brother, and you, my brother. So until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up and get after it.
Don't have 2 kids. Mike's a man.
It's not easy. That's another Effie in the books. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Snooze Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze.